Good morning, Riley. So that's where we had our tent set up last night, that little flat spot. It was a little tricky to set it up. Because my tent takes up so much room, especially in the width. Like, the length was fine. Riley, hold up. Riley, hold up. The length is perfectly fine, but my tent just expands very far with both vestibules on the left and the right. Riley, hold up, buddy. So it kind of extended into the place where the branches are, and then I had to pull it over kind of that rock there. But I eventually got it set up, and we were able to have a good night last night. And here's a hiker. All right, checking back in here. So Riley and I are on our way. Yeah, we had a good night last night, and getting started today. We are about mile 1889 or so, a little less than 10 miles from US Route 2, which goes into the town of Gorham, New Hampshire. That hiker that was approaching just a short while ago. Oh, by the way, we're starting the day off with a really steep climb, really steep descent here. So I'm gonna need to be really careful on this. Riley, calm down. And Princess, Riley, calm down, calm down. Princess caught up and hiked on as I was talking to that other hiker. So Riley is very motivated to continue right now. But yeah, that other hiker that hiked up just a short while ago, he said he's doing something called the Northeast Deratissima, or Deratissima. And so what that is that there's 48 named peaks that are over 4,000 feet in the Northeast. And a lot of people have a goal of hiking to the top of all 48, like in their lifetimes or in some amount of time. And so what he's doing is he's trying to do all 48 peaks, but as part of a continuous hike, where he not only is he doing all the peaks, but he's also hiking from one peak to another peak. So he's not getting any rides between the mountains. And if there's like a road walk that he has to take, he's walking the road. And he's also doing it in a way where he is, if he needs to get to a town, he's not accepting any hitches. He's not accepting any rides. So he's walking the entire thing. And apparently he said that there was a lady, hold up, buddy, that did basically the same thing in 2020, except that she did take rides when it involved a road walk. But if she was able to walk on a trail, then she did do all the walking on the trails. So he's taking it a step further and walking entirely. At least that's his plan. So he's like kind of like a pioneer in this respect for this Northeast Deratissima. So I think he said his name is Lindy. Yeah, so that was super cool to meet him right at the start of our hiking day. So it's a beautiful day today. My goal today is to at least get to US Route 2. We have a steep climb. Like I said, starting out, a steep descent. And then we have another steep climb up Mt Moriah or Moriah. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. But I think the trail should start to ease up as we get closer to Gorham. So, we'll see. I feel good right now. Riley is good. I have plenty of food. My pack feels fine so far. And we'll see how the day goes. So we completed the descent down North Carter Mountain. It was quite steep, quite rocky. Lots of slanted rocks at very steep angles. So we took it very carefully, eventually got down, and we're now working on the climb up Mt Moriah. We're on the Carter Moriah Trail. This is the last big climb before US Route 2. Once we get to the top of this, I think it's about another mile or so, we will have mostly downhill the rest of the way into US Route 2. Princess stopped to take a break a little while back, and she mentioned that she heard a rumor. I'm not sure who she heard it from, but she heard a rumor that there's trail magic today at US Route 2. Alright, so we've made it to a trail junction. We've been on the Carter Moriah Trail, which has been the AT up to this point. Now the AT is turning into the Kentuskegee Trail. And the Mt Moriah summit is up there. That's where the Carter Moriah Trail continues. I don't think we're going to be going up there to see the summit. No, thank you. Riley, wait. 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 Okay. So Riley and I took a couple breaks, and Princess caught up to us and passed us a little while ago. So Riley is motivated to go again. It is a warm day today. I could even say a hot day. Riley, hold up. Riley, hold up. I know, I don't let Riley have any fun. Try to keep him behind me. Yeah, it's a hot day today. And I am thirsty. I don't have any liquids on me. There's supposed to be, the next water source is supposed to be 1.4 miles from that Kentuskegee Trail junction. So we should be going downhill very soon. Very soon. When we get to that water source, I am going to give Riley some water, and I'm going to fill up my bottle and put in some drink mix. Probably grape flavor. Yeah, I'm very thirsty, very looking forward to having some grape beverage. So I think we're about 6 miles from US Route 2. So yeah, apparently there's trail magic there today, but I am doubtful that we will get there in time. They'll probably close up late afternoon or around 5. So we might get there, but I'm not expecting anything. All right, so it's good that we're almost to the top and we're going to start the downhill soon. Hold up, Riley. Riley, wait. So it seems like we are now descending down Mt Moriah. Hold up, buddy. Whenever I'm, especially in the White Mountains, I've been using trees a lot to help support me when I either go up a big climb or go down a big climb. They're very helpful to get additional support when you need it. Riley. Riley, wait. So the turkey that Henry gave to us at Carter Notch Hut yesterday has been very good. I've given Riley a bunch of it and I've eaten a good amount myself, and we still have a good amount left, and it is still fresh, but we're definitely focusing on eating it before any of our other food, because I know it's gonna go bad before any of our other food. So I'm thinking it should last through dinner tonight at least. Definitely a very, very nice, very awesome gift to just get a big bag of turkey. Just something that Riley absolutely loves, and I enjoy actually a lot as well, because it's very filling, and they actually seasoned it with some kind of spices, like maybe a little salt and pepper, but not too much seasoning. And just an excellent source of protein and fuel for hiking the trail. I've not seen that guy catnap since the day we hiked out of Madison Hut together. We hiked up Mount Madison together a couple nights ago, and then he camped a few tenths of a mile before us, and then he told me his plan was going to be to go into Pinkham Notch and spend the night there the next day. But haven't seen him at all. I enjoyed hiking with him a couple days ago. He was easy to talk to. He liked Riley, and we had very similar paces. So that's all good. And it was also just very nice to have a hiking partner as we were going through, as we were hiking into the night over a tough stretch over Mount Madison. It just felt very reassuring to have another human being to hike with, so we could support each other as needed. Getting closer to the water source. It's been a while since I felt this thirsty, because most of the days have been not very hot recently. And I also, because my pack is so heavy, I've been limiting carrying any excess we still haven't gotten to that water source. We have gone the 1.4 miles that I was expecting to get to the water source, and we're now on the Rattle River Trail instead of the Kentuskegee Trail. And I thought there was supposed to be a water source once we got onto the Rattle River Trail, but I did not see a quality one. But there's supposed to be several water sources along this trail. So we should be getting to one soon. We are in the process of giving up all of the elevation gain that we acquired since Pinkham Notch. So this includes, what we did to get up Mt Moriah. It includes what we did to get up the Carters yesterday. It includes what we did to get up the Wildcats. And we have probably a little over 4 miles to go until we get to US Route 2. Riley, wait. So the next 2 miles until the next shelter, which is called Rattle River Shelter, I believe are going to be the steepest. And then there's 2 more miles after Rattle River Shelter to US Route 2, and that is supposed to be more gently sloping, according to my guidebook. Riley, wait. I hear flowing water. Okay. Yep. There is flowing water right here. I think this looks like a good break spot. So yeah, we're gonna quench your thirst right here. Very good. All right, so we have made it to the nice and easy section of the trail. We've actually been on this nice section for a good bit now. We got to our water source and I was able to fill up a liter and pour some Pure Kick grape flavor drink mix into the water, so I was able to enjoy a nice liter of great beverage. I'm still actually thirsty now. It's good, but I've been walking for a while since I finished it. But that was very delicious. And we have passed Rattle River Shelter, which is supposed to be 2 miles from US Route 2. And when we got there, I think we've walked, I guess 7.6 miles on the day, somewhere around there. There was a big group that's planning to spend the night at Rattle River Shelter that's doing trail maintenance. And I was chatting with one of them as I passed by. And she actually said that she hiked the AT last year. And her anniversary date of finishing at Katahdin is tomorrow. And she was talking about how well, she said the trail maintenance they're doing is to she mentioned putting stones in place to build stairs in places where the trail needs it. But she was also just talking about how coming back out here is bringing back a lot of memories for her of her hike. And it seems cool that she's been able to find a role after her hike where she can still kind of live an adventurous lifestyle in terms of doing trail maintenance. Like she still gets to be outdoors a lot, and she's sleeping in an AT shelter tonight, so that seems pretty cool. She asked me if I'm ready to be done or if I'm still having fun, and I told her I'm just thinking about how heavy my pack is right now and how my left shoulder's hurting. It's not hurting like crazy bad, it's just normal discomfort of wearing a heavy pack, and it goes away when I take a rest. But I guess I was thinking about her question more, and I wouldn't say I'm ready to be done. I mean, there's definitely days where, and times where I don't want to hike, and I'm tired, and I would rather be eating ice cream and lying in bed and sleeping. So I feel like for people that say they're ready to be done, it's because they're missing out on they're just wanting to rest more and to eat more good food. But I know that once I am done, at least with the current hike, and I get back to the quote unquote normal lifestyle, I know that I will very easily start to miss being out here and start to miss all the adventure that comes with hiking every day, and the pleasure that comes with finding a wonderful campsite every night. And yeah, all the reasons that I decided to come out here in the first place to hike again. I'm sure once I'm done, I will start to miss being out here. So I don't feel like I just want to be done. I'm motivated to complete the hike. That's what my focus is. Riley's been peeing more because I gave him a good bit of water back when I drank up my great beverage. I gave Riley some turkey and water, so he's been peeing more since then. So it's very nice that we get to hike on this very pleasant trail here. And yeah, getting to US Route 2 is like basically I think it's like the official end of the Whites. We're basically through the White Mountains once we get to US. I mean, we're basically through the White Mountains now already. We've completed it at this point. We still have a lot of hard hiking to go as we complete, as we have about 15 miles to go to get to the New Hampshire Maine border, and then southern Maine, I remember, is very challenging terrain, just like the White Mountains. I wouldn't say just like the White Mountains, but it is also very challenging terrain. But I will refresh my memory very soon as we get on into Maine. We might actually cross the Maine border near the end of the day tomorrow, possibly, depending on how far we get tonight. But it is definitely quite an accomplishment to have gotten through the White Mountains. For some reason, I think I underestimated the difficulty of the White Mountains this time. I think for some reason, I just had memories that they were not as hard as they turned out to be. And some of that is probably just because I have my dog with me now, and so I wasn't able to do work for stay in as many huts as I would have done if I was hiking alone. But at the same time, I think I did, I mean, it's been 6 years since my last through hike in 2018, and I think I had forgotten a little bit about just how difficult certain sections of the White Mountains are in terms of the elevation gain, and how there's a lot of sections where you're just basically rock climbing up a big mountain. And it's definitely harder with a dog also, because I'm not just worried about getting myself up, but I need to make sure Riley doesn't pull me off balance. Need to make sure he can get up, safely as well. Need to make sure we both get up safely and that we don't get in each other's way. And there were many times where like I would take a big step and try to power myself up, and I would expect Riley to follow, and most of the times he does, but a few times he decided not to for some reason, and so as I'm powering myself up, I get yanked back, and that can be a frustrating and dangerous occurrence if I get pulled off balance and fall backwards. But fortunately nothing bad happened. Beautiful water here. There's been lots. Oh, Riley, hold up, buddy, hold up. Beautiful water here. Oh, buddy. Riley. So actually 2 people from the trail crew that's staying at the shelter, they actually, for some reason, they decided to hike back out this way, going north, and Riley saw them, and so he's very motivated to catch up to them. That's why he's in go mood right now. And the temperature continues to be pretty warm. I would guess that it's like over 80 degrees right now. I got just my orange shirt on. I started the day with all 3 of my hiking shirts. My orange shirt, my bright yellow shirt, and my newly acquired gray shirt, which I haven't shown yet. That's what I wore to bed last night, or wore in my tent last night, along with my newly acquired puffy jacket. But I quickly took off the extra 2 shirts this morning because I was getting warm. And my new puffy jacket that I got at Pinkham is really awesome. I think I made a good decision to take it. It is, it fits me. It's a men's medium, and my previous one, or the one I already had, it was a large. And so it was actually, the large is a little too big for me. The medium fits me extremely well. It's like a perfect fit for me. It's like black. It's an Eastern Mountain Sports brand. It's all black, but it has like a yellow interior and a yellow zipper. And it feels even warmer than my previous puffy jacket. It seems like it's got more insulation in it. So last night I wore the EMS puffy jacket, and I let Riley use my green REI puffy jacket as a blanket, along with his his doggy jacket. And I was totally comfortable last night. It was actually a chilly night again. Not super cold, but I definitely felt the chill in the air. And I was just nice and toasty. I was not cold at all as I was sleeping last night. On the flip side, when I pack my dry bag now with all of my stuff that I don't want to get... Riley, calm down. All my stuff that I don't want to get wet, which includes my sleeping bag and my 2 puffy jackets, as well as all my other clothing items. It now basically fills up the entire dry bag. It's a 20-liter dry bag, and it's got some weight to it now. It's probably like maybe 2 to 3 pounds, I'm guessing. Definitely feels much heavier than it did before. So Riley and I are going to have to do a high five tonight when we get to our tent to celebrate getting through the White Mountains. And I'll make sure we do that. Oh, I also forgot to say what day it is today. Today is Tuesday, September 17th, and it's day number 138 of our AT through hike attempt. All right, so I've been rambling for a while, so I will cut the video here and we'll check in later. Hopefully we get to US Route 2 soon, and then we can either continue on if there's no trail magic there, or if there is trail magic, we can enjoy that for a little while. All right, we are at the parking area for US Route 2 now. This is the trailhead kiosk, White Mountain National Forest. I think this is the last one we're gonna see, because we are, I believe like there's no sign that says you are exiting White Mountain National Forest, but I believe that this road is basically the end of it. So yeah, here we are. And we have a little road walk now. I don't see any trail magic here. So we're on the other side now of US Route 2. We stopped into a hostel called the Quantum Vortex for a little bit, and said hi to some of the people there. Big Ramen was there, and had the opportunity to look through their hiker box, and got a few goodies. Was able to drink some coffee, and now we're hiking on. And Riley just decided to, so we're doing a little hill here. We're going this way. Riley just decided to plop down, and look where he plopped down, right here. Right here, you just decided to plop down right here at where someone has signified mile number 1900 on the AT. Did you know that this is mile 1900, Riley? I don't think so. I think he just saw a flat spot and was like, that's a nice place to pop down. So we have a little bit of daylight left. We'll take a short break here, and then we're going to continue on. All right. Good evening. Just want to close out the day here for Tuesday, September 17th, day number 138. So Riley and I found a campsite partway up the next mountain after US Route 2, which is called Mount Hayes. So we hiked about 2.4 miles after beyond US Route 2, and made it partway up the mountain, and we are at mile 1901.3, I believe.
and we hiked a total of 11.9 miles on the day. I just gave Riley some turkey dinner. He's licking his chops, and he's getting ready to settle down. So we had the luxury of some very pleasant trail today after we finally got finished with Mt Moriah. Coming into US Route 2, the trail was very nice, and then after US Route 2 on the other side of it, pretty nice as well. I mean, not nearly as easy as the trail coming into US Route 2, because we're going uphill, but at least for now it's much easier than a bunch of rock scrambling like we're used to doing in the White Mountains. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else to say. We are about 14 miles away from the New Hampshire-Maine border. And I actually just read an article in the Washington Post that was sent to me by one of my long friends about hiking in Maine, and the author described in detail. So the author was hiking southbound through the entire AT in Maine, and the author described in particular the last 11 miles. So that'll be the first 11 miles for Riley and I after we cross into Maine. And the author described those first 11 miles into Maine as being extremely challenging. One of the reasons is that it includes Mahoosic Notch, which is about a mile-long rock/boulder scramble. Anyway, so since we're about 14 miles away from the New Hampshire-Maine border, we might be able to get to the border like near the end of the day tomorrow, which would be Wednesday. So that would mean that we will probably do Mahoosic Notch on Thursday, as well as all the other tough stuff. Like there's Mahoosic Arm, which is like right after the Notch, which is one of the steepest miles, if not the steepest mile on the entire trail. The Wildcat Mountains that we just did in the White Mountains a couple days ago, I believe that is the steepest section of the trail. But I guess like when you're talking about steepest sections, like it all depends on like what the overall distance you're talking about is. Like you could have like one section be the steepest mile, but then another section be the steepest 2-mile stretch, and then a completely different section be the steepest 5-mile stretch. It just depends on how long each section is. But regardless, the Wildcats that we did were extremely steep, and I'm sure Mahoosic Arm is extremely steep as well. Anyway, this is all just stuff that it's in our future, Riley and our future. Stuff to look forward to. But for now, we are safe and sound in our tent. I'm pretty sleepy tired right now. Ready to go to bed. I had some coffee with like some I put in some powdered French vanilla and hazelnut creamer in the coffee to give it some sweetness, and I also put in some like French vanilla coffee creamer out of a carton. I had this earlier when I stopped in at the Quantum Vortex hiker hostel. And it was really tasty when I had it earlier, and it was really delicious. But then when I was hiking earlier today, or when I was hiking out, I was feeling like just that it wasn't really sitting well in my stomach. And I feel like that may be contributing to me feeling so tired. So I feel like a good night's sleep will do me good. Another thing on my mind is I was having foot trouble. My left foot, I'm having what feels like a blister, like in the middle of my feet. And I took my shoes and socks off when I got in the tent and looked at my foot, and it seems like I have like just multiple kind of areas where there's like bumps or little indentations in my foot, almost like little holes sort of that just go, or little craters that go down a small distance. And it's a little hard to explain what would have caused that. And it does kind of hurt when I walk on it. So hopefully, like, it's always good when you have foot trouble to take your socks off and just let your feet air out. And that helps the calluses to start to form, which can help protect your feet. But it definitely takes time for the calluses to form. It doesn't always happen overnight, but hopefully, hopefully letting my feet air out for a full night will do them some good. And I do have some spare socks, so I might try putting on like 3 pairs of socks tomorrow instead of my normal 2, to see if that will help out, just by giving it a little more cushion. So I'll find out tomorrow. Hopefully it doesn't cause me too much problems. But I think that's all for now. So we're at mile 1901.3. So we're officially under 300 miles to go for the trail. And we're on the verge of entering our last state. And we are through, in my book, we're through the White Mountains. I think some people might say we're technically not through the White Mountains. Like we still are in New Hampshire. But we are past the last hut, and it just, in my book, the White Mountains ends at US Route 2. I'll have to look up more information about that, like when I get off trail, just to find out more about that. Perhaps I'm wrong, but for now, I'm thinking we're done with the White Mountains. So that's definitely an accomplishment to be pleased with, and we are. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. We're making progress, and we're gonna have a good night tonight. And I hope everyone's doing well who's watching this, and we will check in tomorrow. That's all for now, and good night.